Alright guys, so we're back with more EF content. What the hell is that?
This is actually the harness off a JDM K20, so I'm just gonna steal a couple plugs off of it.
Okay, sounds good. Anyways, as promised in the last video, we're gonna get it started in this video. So right now we're doing the fuel pump bypass in the first place. So I already have the ground soldered in. Right now I'm getting the power wire soldered in, and I'm gonna run it alongside this wall up into our little relay slash fuse panel. So that will be the fuel stuff figured out, and once we actually have the switch panel, we'll be able to switch the fuel pump on manually. I already tested the wires, everything works fine. Also just burnt myself with the soldering iron. I don't know that I got caught on camera. I literally just touched it. Yeah, it's on.
Why is it on?
Because I was just soldering.
Okay.
Anyways,
Respectable.
so while I'm doing that, Alex is figuring out the immobilizer.
Yep. So currently, right, I got this off some guy on YouTube. If I remember, I'll put like a link to his video in the description. But all he did was just talk about the immobilizer wiring, and it found that these three wires in the middle, useless, don't have to worry about them. These two over here on the side, so the yellow, black, and white and red wire, they have to go to a 12 volt that is one fused, and second is when the key is in the car, right? And then these two right here, this guy, this brown yellow wire goes to plug E, which is going to be the one on the K series. So this is like the K swap harness that goes in the ECU, and that's going to be for we're plugging this guy in for pin number 3, and then the one next to it, this red and blue wire, is going to be to pin number 27, and that's about it.
Yep. So we scored this immobilizer from the same car that was the donor for the engine, transmission,
ECU, as well as the key. So hopefully we can get around this bypass thing without having to buy a immobilizer bypass for 200 bucks. Yeah, we just want to make the car run. Once we're happy with the running, I'll get a K Pro and we'll make hella power with this.
Yeah. So as we said from the first episode, this is an EP3 swap, not a K swap. Anyways, got my fuel pump wire ran to the little fuse box slash relay box we have over here. So spade connector in here. Just gonna tighten her down. All right, that's in there. And now, theoretically, as Ben Shapiro would say, if I bridge, these come from the same guy, yeah? Yeah. So if I bridge this guy to 12 over here, we should get the fuel pump that turns on. Which we don't. Oh yeah, because we don't have power over here. Fuck. Alright. More garbage to do. So, the fuel pump is good now. So as you see, if we can take the 12 volts, then this is 12 volts constant right here, and hook it up to the relay in right here, which is going to be obviously right off the switch, but for now, I'm testing it. If I hook it up, you can hear the fuel pump running. I take it off, that's it. And you can hear the relay clicking as well.
All right, so let's have that thing run, and let's see if it starts.
Do we need to... Yeah, actually, for the meantime, we can do that, yeah. Okay. Wait.
What'd you touch? The ground? You touched the ground right there.
I know.
I wonder if I got that on video.
Probably.
We should check for a spark.
Yeah, we should check for spark.
Yeah.
We have spark, you just saw.
We had spark right there, yeah. Yeah, don't do that at home.
Alright. So we'll go try to check for spark now.
Yep.
That'll be fun. So I just took the coil pack cover off, pulled one of the coils. So you're gonna pull the spark plug out and touch at the ground somewhere. See if we're getting spark as we're cranking.
Rest in peace, valve cover.
If not, we spray fucking brake clean in the... Or actually, if we are getting spark, we spray brake clean in here and see if the engine starts.
Immobilize is always an issue with Hondas.
Of course it is. It's a Honda.
And this needs to touch metal.
Yeah.
Shit, I might have pulled out the wrong one then. How is this going to touch metal?
No fucking way it's not gonna work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That works.
Okay, I'll go crank it.
You think it's actually gonna work?
I don't know.
Can I even touch this?
We send it. Low ball garage special right here.
I'll hold the GoPro then.
I was gonna hold it.
No, nothing. Nothing. So let me try a better ground, maybe.
The camera better be picking that up. It is.
Sorry, there's something wrong there, officer.
No, absolutely nothing. And then you put your finger to it and see if there's spark. You should feel about 3,000 volts.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if it's a little less?
I don't know though.
And I'm lucky?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
It's okay. Current's not long enough. You won't die. It'll just burn. I'm kidding. Ready?
Yep. Nothing.
No spark.
So immobilize the shit. Okay, go for it.
No light red because it's... No?
What could that sound have been from? The
Started.
starter?
No, it's not started. Sorry, battery's dying.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, you saw our attempts at trying to get this thing to turn over and
With the stock ECU and all that like OEM immobilizer stuff. So we've thrown in the towel. I think the key that the guy gave us at the junkyard is into this car. But what we're going to do is we're going to drive up north a bit. We're going to go to CLM Motorsports up in Woodbridge, and we're going to buy a K-Pro. We're just going to give him our old one, like our old ECU, and then we're bring the price down to $700. So we're just going to do that route. It's going to be a lot better in terms of future because we're going to be able to tune this thing. We're going to be able to make a lot more power. We're going to do the cams probably. We'll start it. I'll do a base map, and then I'm just going to source some cams. I'm going to source some rockers, and we're going to do a VTEC killer setup, try and make 200 with it. Yep. It's going to be a rowdy car for sure. It's going to be lightweight. Yeah, so next clip you're going to see is going to be tomorrow morning, driving up to CLM.
that's 12 hours for us. 1 second for you.
It's here soon.
That was risky. Alright, so we just got the CLM. We're gonna go inside.
Maybe show you guys around if they're kind enough to let us record.
Yeah. And
we brought the goods.
hell yeah. So we're gonna do a little bit of trading right here, some bartering.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys
in a bit.
All right. K-Pro secured. It was like $750. They didn't take this ECU. I'll show you in the video why they didn't take it. They said it's unrepairable. I say bullshit, but okay. Yeah, so next step is going to be to plug this into the EF and put a little base map on it, try and fix it, get it to start. So,
yep.
Yeah.
All right. Get a little unboxing action. Very, very good quality control, as you can see. Dented to shit. But at least it comes with cables, right? Fucking little printer cable. Outdated technology over here. Hey, look at this quality control.
Wait.
No. You have to look at...
You okay?
You have to look at the quality control on this fucking lid.
They banged my fucking lid up.
Cool, right?
This is CLM doing.
Yep.
You got this in video?
Yep. I recorded it, talked about it already.
Molly, what do you think of the K Pro, huh?
You like K Pro?
They give me used shit.
They could have fucking replaced the lid at
Come with
least.
the cable
Yeah.
in the box?
Yeah. Fucking printer cable. Alright, so we'll get that hooked up over there now. In this mess of wires.
Are the pins straight?
Let's open the fucking K Pro and see if what they said was broken, if they have the same thing over here.
No, probably not.
There you go. ECU is plugged in. Take this cable. Plug it into this printer port right here. Nice little printer cable, beautiful.
Driver not installed. Do you have the battery hookup?
Nope. You want it hooked up?
Yeah. Just fry the new ECU.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We go back, you're like, yeah, this also not work. Is it detecting it?
Yeah. We're uploading a face map that the Honda came with. It's just like a slow key stuff. Probably gonna go check out the parameter, not the parameter, yeah, the parameters, and make sure that the immobilizer's turned off. So give me a second. So it should start theoretically.
It should start, yeah.
Right now. Let's see. It started. You getting fuel?
No, fuel pump is off.
Oh shit, yeah.
Smells toasty over here. Like really toasty.
Like, what do you mean?
I don't know, it smells like something's burnt. Yeah. Something smells like shit back here.
It's probably because it was started with the brake clean, maybe?
Yeah.
It just needs fuel now. So we gotta fuck around with the
Fuel pressure.
pressure regulator. Hopefully there's no water in here as well. But yeah. How we're gonna decide what the fuel pressure is at, I have no clue.
There should be specifications that say how much fuel pressure the K needs. We have a fucking...
We don't have the gauge, just the gauge broke off. So
We don't need the gauge.
why not?
There should be an external line to measure pressure
We're
as well.
saying this thing.
There's probably this thing. And we have a fuel pressure tester. That's what we used.
Garage, yeah.
Should be there, yeah. Alright, so for now, we're just going to bypass the fuel pressure regulator because we're most likely going to need a gauge on here. We broke it when we're installing it. So for now, we're literally just bypassing from the fuel filter straight to the fuel rail, just like a stock setup would. And we're going to tighten the belt up a little bit because it is wobbly. I'll tell you when to stop.
What was it called? The specification is that like you can still do this.
You're not supposed to be able to do that.
No, that's how this kit's supposed to. It's what it says on K20.
Yeah, but it's still a fucking belt tensioner. It's like my sister's car. It's a manual belt tensioner as well. Anyways, so you're supposed to be able. It's supposed to be squishy, not like tight, but it's not supposed to be this fucking squishy.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be able to still move it around.
No fucking way.
That's what they said, man.
Oh, they're smoking dick. That's a lot of play.
Is it still going up? Just taking paints off as well.
Doesn't this need to be loosened
What?
so we can move?
No, but I do need to tighten probably this bolt finally. That's all. No, because it goes up. It was going up. It was
Okay.
getting tighter, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, we just got to tighten that belt up, and then we'll give it another crank, see if she starts.
What do you think? You think it'll start?
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Cross your fingers, also cross your fingers that it's gonna sound good.
Yeah.
It is open headers. There we go. And there's no what's it called?
We'll be fine.
No, the video's not gonna be over. That's too short of a video. We're probably gonna add coolant to it, put the filter back together, see how much content that is, if it's enough to make a video. If not, then we're also gonna do the axle stuff. But it starts. The K-Pro worked.
Worked flawlessly.
For now. Well, we don't know what's gonna rev to, because maybe it'll go in limp mode and we have to do more fucking bullshit on the Honda. But for now, it works. It started right away once we got the feel figured out. So. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm gonna do some research, see if it's okay to like leave it like this, or if we do need to run the pressure regulator.
Yeah.
But since we're currently using the stock rail, this thing I'm pretty sure is the pressure regulator for the stock car, right there. And yeah, it's a simple setup. So yeah.
All right. Happy. So now we're just gonna see if we need to button anything up before we put the radiator in, so we don't have to keep coming back to it. And give her some coolant. Let her swim.
Fix that axle and take it down the street for a rip.
Oh, fuck no.
Well, you don't want to? Why not?
No, I'm kidding. I'd love to.
Hell yeah. We're going to burn those Cornell 1000s out.
Hell yeah.
Be straight steelies.
Fuck yeah. All right. Couple updates. This morning, Alex just welded in this little bracket right here. I wouldn't even call it a bracket. It's literally a push rod for more stability on the plate for the clutch, so it doesn't move as much. So now there's minimal movement compared to what it was before. We have the throttle cable in and connected.
Throttle cable's temporary though.
Yeah, I mean this shit looks disgusting, but it works.
Yeah. So probably gonna buy some like K-swap, the shorter ones that go in. It'll be a lot nicer and it'll be a better throttle response, because currently the way I have it hooked up, if you want to show them, is I have it actually off of the cruise control one. So it goes from cruise control to the regular throttle. So it's crossed, and it's not going to be that good of a throttle response, but it'll be enough just to test drive it down the street. So,
yep.
Yeah.
I'm finalizing the wiring before we put in the dash, so I don't have to crawl in there and, you know, try to reach for wires. So currently, this is the fuel pump setup that's finished already. Obviously, the switch is temporary. We're going to do a 12-volt block off of the back of the panel for the switches, so we could just run 12 volts to each of the switches. Right here, black wire, that's going to be the horn. This right here is the fans. And currently, I'm going to also wire in a little circuit on this side, because we still have 2 relays left over. So one relay is going to control 12 volts for the gauges, because obviously the gauges have LEDs in them and they need power. So we'll do that as well to turn on the gauges, because this whole thing is constant 12. I don't want to run it off of ignition. A lot more convenient this way. Just got the ECU wire for coolant temp spliced in with the aftermarket one, and this is going to run to the gauge. The yellow wire runs all the way back to the ECU, just so we can hit VTEC for the meantime. So yeah, I'm going to continue working on the wiring, and hopefully today we can get the dash back in. I have the wires all tucked up now. Obviously it's still a mess. There's not really a nice way to do this when we relocated the fuse box under the dash, but they are all clean. They're out of way of any abrasive metal that could potentially cut it in short. So right here is nice. Trim panels can actually go back on. We don't need anything else in here. The cover plate for the ECU is back on. Reused the factory one, works nicely. Routed the wires in through here, as you can see, as well as I put a shit ton of cloth tape around the edges right here, just so they don't cut it. So it's a mixture of cloth tape and electrical tape, just to get the edges as smooth as possible so they don't rub through the wires. And I'm probably going to put some sort of caps on here, or just do more cloth tape, just in case a wire becomes stray and decides to start rubbing up on this. But what's left is to cut the zip ties, shorten a bunch of these wires, to tuck them up nicely, and the dash can go back in. In the time that I was doing that, Alex is figuring out the axles so we can actually get this thing to turn some wheels and possibly go for a ride. So you have to pull the coilover out. Now it's back in. Oh, I love the bushings in here. Look at that. But the axle's in, and hopefully when we put it back down on the ground, it won't be at too much of an angle or anything like that, because I don't want to pull a Honda the first day this thing's driving and snap an axle. But nice and solid in here, well greased. I'm pretty sure the other side's not done yet. Oh, it is. Nice surprise. So technically this thing should be able to turn wheels now. We'll see if we want to do that right now and possibly do the brakes and take it for a test drive. We'll see. Alright, so a bunch of fuckery with the brake system. So there was no pressure. We weren't getting any pressure. We extended the thing on the brake booster that pushes it. So now we're getting pressure enough to make fluid come out. As you can see, it's all wet over here. Problem was the entire rear drum set.
It's completely fucked, but I'm pretty sure we can't get pressure because if you show them this thing is leaking, so it's not getting any pressure.
I think this one's okay, but we might replace it just for preventive maintenance.
Yeah.
But the other side, when we pulled it off, obviously we cleaned it now, degreaser and everything. But when we pulled it off, it was just, I mean, look, you could tell the condition. This thing's rusted to death, and there was just brake fluid everywhere. So we have a suspicion that this thing might be leaking, and our suspicion's probably correct. So next thing to do is to rebuild the drum brakes, which is fun.
Of course, you know, only done it a handful of times, so we'll see how this one goes. But,
yep.
Yeah,
all right.
Hopefully it's not too expensive, because I mean, I did want to just do a disc conversion, but finding the parts is just so hard, and it's like I could probably just source like an Integra one, but the thing is you need to have the older Integra ones for like the fitment to be proper, but it's just hard to find.
So yeah, and we're beat by the Civic again. All right, so we'll continue on in the next video. Take care, guys.